Most people today think the richest person in history is Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or maybe some ancient king from Europe or Asia. But the truth is very different. The richest human being to ever walk the earth came from Africa. His name was Mansa Musa, the emperor of the Mali Empire. His fortune was so large, so unbelievable, that even modern economists struggle to put a number on it. Some say it would equal more than $400 billion today. His story is not just about gold and wealth, but about the greatness of Africa that the world often forgets. Mansa Musa ruled the Mali Empire during the 14th century, from 1312 to 1337. At this time, Mali was one of the most powerful kingdoms in the world, stretching across much of West Africa. It controlled vast lands, trade routes, and most importantly, gold mines. Mansa Musa wasn't just a king, he was an emperor whose influence reached far beyond his borders. He built strong armies, expanded his territory, and made sure his empire was connected to the wider world through trade and diplomacy. At its height, the Mali Empire was producing nearly half of the world's supply of gold. Imagine that half of all the gold used across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia came from West Africa. This made Mali not only rich, but also very important in global trade. Salt was also a major source of wealth, traded for gold across the Sahara Desert. Caravans of camels carried goods across thousands of miles, and every transaction made the empire even more powerful. And at the center of it all was Mansa Musa, the man who controlled this ocean of wealth. In 1324, Mansa Musa decided to go on the Hajj, the Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca. But this was no ordinary journey. He traveled with a caravan so large that it stunned everyone who saw it. Tens of thousands of soldiers, officials, and servants followed him. Hundreds of camels carried loads of pure gold. Along the way, in Cairo and other cities, Mansa Musa gave out so much gold that he disrupted the economy. Gold lost its value for more than a decade because of his generosity. Historians say no one had ever seen such a display of wealth, and the story of his pilgrimage spread across the world. The world could not ignore Mansa Musa. News of his unbelievable wealth reached Europe and the Middle East. In fact, medieval European mapmakers began drawing him on their maps. They showed a black African king sitting proudly on a golden throne, holding a golden staff and a shining orb of gold. For the first time, Africa was not hidden or ignored. It was placed at the very center of attention. Mansa Musa's name became legendary, and his empire was recognized as one of the richest and most powerful on earth. Mansa Musa didn't just spend his wealth, he invested it in the future. In Timbuktu, he built mosques, libraries, and one of the greatest universities of the ancient world. Scholars and students from across Africa, the Middle East, and even Europe came to study in Mali. Knowledge, science, art, and culture flourished under his rule. Long after his death, the libraries of Timbuktu continued to hold thousands of manuscripts, proof that Africa was a center of learning and civilization. Mansa Musa remains a symbol of African greatness. He was more than just the richest man who ever lived. He was a leader, a builder, and a patron of knowledge. His story reminds us that Africa's history is filled with power, wisdom, and prosperity that the world must never forget. Subscribe to Voice of the Continent to hear more untold stories of Africa's past, present, and future.